Hey everybody, David Burns. I'm going to jump in a hive and do a fall inspection. Fall inspections are tough, tough, tough. I want to share with you today just exactly how to prepare for a fall inspection. We are approaching October. We're in our second week of fall. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of robbing being attempted in many of my bee yards. So I know that right now I don't see this hive being robbed. But I also just worked a hive and it didn't take but a few minutes for robber bees to really take it over. All these robber bees, look at that, they're trying. Look at the back here. No way to get in there, but these are robber bees frantically trying to get into the back here. Look at that. Robber bees. So we're gonna do everything we can right now to prevent robbing. So this video is gonna be real helpful for you guys that have to treat your bees now that the temperatures are right in early fall, and how you need to make sure you got a good laying queen, that your brood is good, or you're putting feeders on and all. Watch this video all the way through. So what I'm doing is setting up the area right now. I got some burlap right here, and this burlap is going to help cover boxes and reduce the amount of space that's open to robber bees. I've also got, you can use a top cover, but I brought in a Winter Bee Kind empty board. I'm going to use it to cover the box too if I need to. And I've got a deep box here that I can more easily just set that top box there, and I don't have to bring it down so low. I got my smoker going, and since I'm going to be treating them with Feroxan in just a little bit, I'm just going to take that step out. I got to wear the respirator and I got to wear the gloves. So I'm just going to go ahead and work the bees, start with my gloves on because it takes a little bit of time to put your gloves on. What we're going to do is try to inspect the hive and go through all these points as quick as we can. Not going to rush. You got to be careful not to get all crazies fast, because then you could more likely accidentally kill your queen. You can mishandle a frame, drop a frame. Another thing we want to do is make sure we don't drip honey. If you drip one drop of honey anywhere, it's hard to clean it up, almost impossible, and it will attract robber bees. If not right now, it'll attract robber bees in an hour or something. All right, so here we go. A little history. This hive, a few weeks ago, it swarmed on us, and they have a lot of swarm cells. And so now they've had time to get their chosen queen selected out of a queen cell, and she should be laying. We should see plenty of capped brood. It's been long enough to have capped brood. So this is the time that I'm going to have to decide if I don't have a queen, I got to put one in there, or if I have a queen, is her brood pattern good enough to go with her? Okay, we've got our feeder board here. Look at this right here. Do you recognize that? Trying to go through the screen, but it can't make it. It's almost going to make it. That's an earwig. Earwigs, actually. Try to get it out of there. Earwigs are oftentimes around hives. It's kind of stuck in there. They have pincers, P-I-N-C-E-R, not pinchers, but pincers, which are pinchers, on the back right there. I know I not got the best view of it, but earwigs, they're given their name because some way back they were thought to work their way into people's ears. But they don't really get into a hive. This one's trying to, just because it wants to get out of the daylight. But they hang out around hives, these earwigs, and but they don't bother bees. They're just around your inner covers. They can bite you. They can pinch you, and it can irritate you. It's not venomous. It's not anything that's worth, worrying about, but they can break your skin. Propolis. Wow. Propolis is a little chilly from the overnight hours. There we go. Ooh, not many bees in the top up here. Not many bees at all. We would hope to see a lot more, so that means, we requeened it, or it requeened itself. So could it be that they did not successfully requeen themselves? So we know we're running against the clock. We've got an open hive in the fall. We could have robbing, so we got to work efficiently. Okay. There's no honey on that frame, so I can drop it outside the hive without it being attracting robbers. But since we have our top cover available, let's go ahead and use it. All right, now I'm just going to roll through here and see what's going on a few of these frames here. All right, nectar, that will attract robbers. So I'm going to hold my frame over the hive in case it drips. It won't drip on the ground. So no queen would be up on the nectar. That's just one frame up there. Here's another one. A little bit capped over, a little bit of nectar. If you're new to my channel and you haven't seen my experiment on red wax, that's why this is red. I'll leave a link at the end of this video where you can see my experiment on my red wax frame experiment. Pretty popular video. Wrote an article in the Bee Culture magazine about it. See the red wax there? Honey, nectar. So we have about 3 or 4 frames where the bees are starting to put their nectar up on the top here. An old queen cell from way back that we played with has been empty for a long time. Okay, so now we need to get rid of this one. Yeah, this hive is going to be interesting to see what we're working with. All right. So smoke between the boxes. Take the top cover off back here. Take this frame out. And we're going to put it back in the super. So we'll just put that right here. Put this frame here. One of the ways that you can tell if you have robber bees is the number of bees that might be flying around your hive. So some of these bees that are flying around could already be robber bees. And that's why I just want to cover it up. Look at that. That could all be robber bees that quickly. So we got to keep working. We're looking for one task. Do we have a good laying queen? What are you looking for during your fall inspection? You're looking for what I've said before, 3, 4. Remember those 2 numbers. 3 is 3 types of brood, 3 stages of brood. You're looking for eggs, larvae, and pupae. That's your 3. And then 4. 4 represents our resources. So that means you have nectar, you have honey, you have pollen, you have bee bread. Those are 4. So when you do an inspection in the fall, quickly look for 3 stages of brood and then your 4 types of resources. So what we can do now is to utilize our burlap a little bit. Actually, this might work better. I had a feeder board. I can lay my feeder board right here to only expose the amount of frames that I want to work right now. I can cover that up. Okay, so now I can look at this frame here. A lot of bees down here, not much in the top medium super. Look at that. Nectar, nectar, nectar. So it looks good. You would not find a queen, rarely find a queen on a brood frame or on a nectar frame. Patrick, if you can, this black bee right here is a robber bee. It's not part of this hive. Look at that. That robber bee is getting a sample right now to go back and tell its hive. How do I know it's a robber bee? Look at its abdomen. It's hairless, it's shiny. Now, if I can get her to move around, you can see how she's flying? She's not, watch. See, she's flighty. Look at her. You can't make any of these these bees won't fly. Look at that. She's flying because she's a robber bee. Now, it won't take her 3 minutes to go back, do a waggle dance, and get a whole bunch of bees back here. That fast. Okay, more nectar, no queen, no brood. Looking for eggs. I don't see any eggs or larvae. Nope. Okay. it's likely that they failed to raise a queen. Okay, so we're hopeful, but we'll see. Okay, not seeing a queen. I'm scanning, and obviously no cap brood. Let's move some bees out of the way. Look at that. We should have larvae, cap brood, eggs. Nothing. But I do see a queen. Look at that.
Let's see here. You're going to have to point her out again. I can't.
Yeah, let me here you go. We do have a queen right here, good sized queen. So the question is going to be, is she one of the swarm cell queens, or is she newer than them? For example, sometimes what they'll do, they'll raise a queen from a swarm cell until she lays eggs, they'll replace her again. That may be why we're not seeing a lot of brood, but I'm going to check for eggs, see what this queen's doing. All right. All right, I want to verify that, but I see eggs and young larvae. Get the sun just right. Oh yeah. Yeah, this whole frame is nothing. It's going to be hard. Let me get out there, Pat. I'll get some sun behind me. Maybe you can see, but let me hold this frame. Here we go. Back up a little bit, yeah, right there. So this frame is full of eggs and very young larvae. So I've got to make sure my queen is on this back side. I don't want to drop her in the grass. Yep, she's on there. So let's drop it all back. All right, so in this case, we like what we see. We're going to let it go. Got a new queen. We got brood. And right now, this hive just needs to continue to be fed. But while we have it open, let's go ahead and put some Viroxan strips in here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and treat this colony with some Viroxan with the strips here. Get some wax buildup in the way there. The Viroxan strips are new. It's sort of like what many of you might have heard as the Osolic extended release pads. Is similar to that, and that this Osolic is on these cardboard strips. Why a lot of wax buildup? There we go. Make a little spot there. Got to put it on frames of bees. Take 4 strips in there. Leave it on there. I think it said for 42 days. Take it out in 56 days. Helps to control the mites. One more to go. Move some bees out of our way. There we go. All right. All the bees that are flying here, robber bees. Robber bees. Who would have thought? Look at all the bees flying over here. All the bees flying, robber bees. That's why we want to put it back together as fast as we can. And we didn't really get distracted. We saw that we had a queen. We went ahead and treated for mites. So this hive definitely needs fed this fall. So I'm putting my feeder board back on here. Oh, making sure it gets smashed down good. Yeah, look at all those robber bees right here. That many robber bees. How did they find it so quickly? That's crazy. And we were careful. We covered things. We didn't have any honey that dripped or anything. Drop around here to the front, Pat, and let's see if we see any fighting at the front.
It was like a little over 13 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yep, there's some fighting in the front. Like at the tip of my hive tool right in here. That's a guard bee right there. She's walking around inspecting everybody's odor. Look at her just tapping everybody, smelling. A lot of guard bees out here today. Yep, right in here there's some fighting. Look at that. I think this is a robber bee going up here on my hive tool. It ran away from all the other bees. The guard bees are fun to watch. They look really nervous. Look here, a robber bee was caught right there. They're pulling on the wings. Look at that. There's a robber bee being dragged off. These guards are excellent. They're getting on there so quick. But if you're in a pinch and maybe you started robbing, what you can do is grab some tall grass like this and just reduce the entrance. You don't have to block the entrance. Let your guard bees have less of an entrance to guard. Like that. Now guard bees have to all show up over here, and your guard bees are going to have less area to protect. We're so close to winter. This is a really rocky season for bees because of hard to inspect colonies, hard to cut down on robbing. But I've got a live stream coming up in just a few hours tonight. Part 1 on how to get your bees through winter. I hope you'll join me, 7 p.m. Central Time. We have giveaways, good teaching on winter survival. Here's the link right here. Hope to see you guys over there.